Reading and Use of English.
No, God!
Part 4. Keyword Transformations.
No, God, please, no! No!
Just those two words are enough to strike fear into the heart of any English learner. But don't worry, because today we're going to look at some examples to help you pass this tricky task once and for all. So first things first, keyword transformations are so much easier if you revise for them. So I'm not talking about revising every single structure in English, but there are some structures in the keyword transformations that come up over and over again. For example, we have so and such, comparatives and superlatives, to and enough, direct and indirect speech, conditionals, and the passive and active voice. Just knowing these structures will help you immensely in the keyword transformations. But you want to see some examples. So let's get to it. Here we are, guys, and here is the first example sentence. A very friendly taxi driver drove us into town. And the word that we've been given is driven. Let's have a look at the second sentence, the sentence that we need to add the words to. So we've got we and the gap, a very friendly taxi driver. So what steps should you take to solve keyword transformations? Well, I suggest trying the following. Number 1, do you recognise the word that has been given? In this example, we have the word driven. So let's try it. Do you recognise it? Driven is the past participle of the verb drive. We can write it down and come back to that shortly. And we're looking for patterns. This is the key to keyword transformations. It's all about looking for patterns or certain structures, like I said in the intro, that you might recognise. Step number 2, is it similar to any words in the first sentence? As I said before, we know that driven is the past participle of the verb drive. And in the first sentence, we have the past simple form of the verb. So we have drove and we have driven. This may already give us a clue. When we think of verbs in the past participle form, one of the main areas of language that comes to mind is passive sentences. So this could be an active to passive example. But let's keep looking for more clues. We can also see that the object pronoun us in sentence 1 has changed into the subject pronoun we in sentence 2. Again, this is a big clue that it is an active to passive example. You'll notice as well that the actor of the verb, the person or thing that does the action, has changed position, with a very friendly taxi driver now at the end of the sentence in the second example. With these two clues, I'm confident that we're dealing with an active to passive exercise. Let's underline or highlight the familiar words that we have, which are, in this case, a very friendly taxi driver, and us and we. Let's go through this step by step and take this active sentence and make it passive. So step 1, move the receiver of the action from the direct object position of the sentence to the subject position of the sentence. So this one's already been done for us with us and we. So step 1, done. Step 2, put the verb be in agreement with the new subject and in the appropriate tense. So in the first sentence, we have the past simple form of the verb. So we know in the second sentence, it has to be in the past simple as well. Is it was or were? Well, because the subject is we, it has to be were. So let's put that. Step 3, we need the verb in the past participle form. And guess what? We already have it. So we can put driven. And step number 4, we need to add the object preposition by before the actor of the sentence, which in this case is a very friendly taxi driver. Now this is looking good. but we still need to check if we have all of the information. No we don't. We need to add the location. Let's do that. This is looking like a really good sentence, but it's crucial that we count the number of words and check the meaning to see if it's still the same or similar to the first example. We have 5 words, so that's okay, and the meaning is very similar. Awesome. That's number 1, full marks. Let's go on to number 2. Here we have the second example. Arthur has the talent to become a concert pianist, and the word that we've been given is that. Let's check the first step. We have the word that, and from just this word, it's not immediately obvious what or how we can include this in the second sentence. Is it similar to any of the words in the first sentence? I wouldn't say it's obvious, so let's move on to step number 3. In the second sentence, we have a big clue, the word so. Maybe that can help us. This is why it's useful to study and understand different structures like so and such, as now we can write down a structure that it might be. So we have so plus adjective plus that. Okay, so we need an adjective. The word talent in the first example is a noun, but what about the adjective? The adjective is talented. Let's try that. So talented that. And here we don't necessarily need step 4 because it's already looking good like this. There is something still missing though. Before could, we need a subject pronoun. And as we are talking about Arthur, we can use the subject pronoun he. So talented that he. How many words is that? 4. Excellent. Now let's check if the sentences have a similar meaning. And yes, they do. Perfect. Number 2, full marks. See, keyword transformations don't need to be scary. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that like button, but also hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Shall we do another example? Let's get to it. So let's go through the steps. Number 1, do you recognize the word given? We have the word if. Okay, so it's not immediately obvious. Maybe it's a conditional sentence. Let's keep investigating. Number 2, is it similar to any of the words in the first sentence? Well, there's something that jumped out at me straight away, and that's that we have some direct speech in the first sentence with, do you know when the match starts, Sally? So this gives us a bit of a clue. Now maybe this is a direct to indirect speech example. And remember, with indirect speech, we use if with yes or no questions. So let's put the if down as it's the word that we need to use. Next up, let's highlight any words or underline any words that are similar. We have when and we have time. So there's our next clue. If it's a question in the first example, we need to use a question word in the second example. So let's include what. And now we have what time. We also have the match starts and the match started. Notice here the shift in tense from the present simple to the past simple. So there's another clue. We can take the verb and change it to match the rest of the sentence. So let's think about this one. Know in the past simple is irregular and it's new. If new what? Now time to check. Is anything missing? Yes, we need a subject. So Sally is predominantly a female name, so let's put the subject pronoun she. If she knew what time, okay, this is looking good. Now time to check how many words. 4. Do the sentences have a similar meaning? Yes, they do. So there we go, another example, full marks. There we are guys, and I hope this video made keyword transformations a little bit easier for you. Once again, if you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to subscribe, but also hit that like button for more great content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.